Hey, what's up guys? If you want to serve over 200 kilometers an hour, this is the right video. We'll show you how to do it, and we will also go into the secret trick that Zverev and Sinner use to become some of the best servers in the world. Let's get right into it.
Why you talking out the top, boy, you can't. What you need, yeah, I got it. With the team, yeah, we about it. Get the cream, yeah. Why you slacking?
The key to serving over 200 kilometers an hour is power. And power for the serve is achieved in two ways. Number one is about strength. Strength in your body, maximal strength and explosive strength. Second one, with the serve, it's all about being loose from the ground up. The best servers in the world, they have very fluid motions. Later in the video, I will show you how Zverev and Sinner have used this secret trick in order to improve their serve and to become some of the best servers in the world while previously struggling with their serve. The next step to serve over 200 kilometers is incorporating what is called contrast training. In contrast training, you use an explosive movement before the serve. Usually this is used in weightlifting. You use an explosive movement and then you go into a lifting type of movement. We're going to use mat ball slams and jumps and then combine it with serving. Really important here, I do this with low volume but a bit higher intensity. If you've never done this type of training, I recommend you start very slow, very low volume, not super intense, because with explosive movements, you always want to be careful. We're going to start with the mat ball slams, 3 to 5 slams, then going into 2 to 4 serves. I will do 2 sets and then going into jumps, vertical jump. I will also show different jump variation and then going into again 2 to 4 serves. Really important about this training, low volume and a bit higher intensity. Now we're getting into jumps. Again, focus on being explosive. Don't sacrifice speed for volume. Better to do less, maybe even just 1 jump and then go right into serving 2 to 3 serves. To come full circle with the contrast training, when I'm doing the slams, I focus on being explosive in the upper body when serving. And when I'm doing the jumps, I focus on being explosive out of the legs when hitting the serves. The next aspect in order to hit a serve over 200 kilometers an hour is probably the most undertrained one. It's about your arm action. So the serve has many components, starting from the ground up, turning the body, exploding out of the legs. But what is very crucial is how fast your arm is accelerating. And this is something you can learn. When I was a kid, I was throwing around a lot of balls randomly, and this is what has led to my great arm action, my great arm speed. So depending on how old you are right now, maybe you cannot replicate this throwing around a ball that I did as a kid, hundreds, thousands of reps, but nonetheless, you can work on your arm action. So how is that achieved? Quite simply, you have to throw more round objects, different type of footballs, baseballs, tennis balls. Something that really improved my serve, even after many years of playing already, was when I taught myself how to throw a very tight football spiral. And another thing is I was working with a coach from the baseball world, focusing on what they do is called the long toss technique, where you basically try to throw the baseball very far. And another one I do when I'm at tournaments is I just take a tennis ball, and whenever I feel like my arm is a bit slow, I add different type of throws in the warm-up. In general, before you start this type of arm action, arm speed training, I urge you to start with low volume. You don't know how your arm will respond, especially if you've never done this. You have to be careful with your shoulder, everything, elbow, wrist. Start slow, but if you improve your ball throwing technique, you will improve your serve, because the serve is really similar to throwing a ball. Alright, we're in the gym now. As I've said, a really good way to improve your tennis serve is working on max strength and explosive strength. There are truly countless exercises for a very specific exercise plan. Check out the athletic fitness course on my website. Today we'll show you one upper body exercise, one lower body exercise. As I've said, there are countless exercises, but we will go with these two now. So first one for the upper body, really basic, we'll do a push-up and then we will do an explosive clapping push-up. If you're able to do high reps of push-ups, it's better to add weight with a backpack for the people training at home. Another variation with weights would be a bench press, but for now we'll stick to the push-up, easy to do everywhere. First, the one working on max strength and then the one with explosive power clap push-up. So typically true max strength training is anywhere between 1 to 5 reps. It really depends on how long you've been in the gym. In the beginning I recommend you go higher reps, you will still increase your strength, and then for explosive work keep to 3 to 5 reps, but very explosive speed. We'll use the clap push-ups for this one. So for the lower body, we'll work on a lunge. It's a single leg movement, and then we will do a jump form similar to a lunge, and then you're good to go for your lower body strength and explosive training. Alright, for the strength movement we have the Bulgarian split squat, which is a split squat with the rear foot elevated. Depending on your strength level, you can adapt the exercise by adding weights. And for the explosive lower body movement, we have split jump squats, very easy to do. And as I've said before, for upper body and lower body, there are countless exercises you can do. These are easy variations. I want to show you something that anybody can do. Alright, we've reached the final training tip to go over 200 kilometers an hour. The secret that Zverev and Sinner are using. So, I talked about how important it is to be loose on the serve to create power. But what does that mean and how is it achieved? When you serve, you start the motion by tossing the ball up. And then you go into your rotation, you bend the knees, you store a lot of energy. And in order to serve quickly, you have to explode out of the so-called trophy position. This is the position you have right before you go up and hit the serve. Basically, if you take a picture right before all the famous pictures, you see the server being here, kind of frozen, and then you come up and explode. Zverev and Sinner, they had a good serve already, but they were basically tossing a bit too high. When I was younger and in former generations, it was always preached that you have to hit the serve at the highest point, which is true, which definitely helps, and that you have to toss higher. I've heard countless times as a junior, toss higher, toss higher. And I have a bit of a funny serve motion, but I really took a stride in my serving abilities when I lowered my toss. And this is the same thing that Zverev and Sinner have done, because if you have a lower toss, it will be easier to release the stored energy. So if you're someone that's struggling with serve speed, you should slowly start to lower your toss. Not too low obviously, but to a point where your motion is fluid. So if you are here and you toss the ball super high, like here, you have to really load weight and hold this power and then explode up. Whereas, I will do a very extreme one now, if you toss low, there is really no time to store any energy. You use the stored energy immediately. You don't lose any of it, and this will lead, because the serve is also under the laws of physics, if you don't lose stored energy, you will serve faster. So this is a very advanced principle, but I wanted to give you that secret because that's exactly what Zverev and Sinner have done to improve their serves even more. Give it a try. It could not be for you, it could be for you. It will definitely take time to have a lower toss and to master that technique, but this is one of the secrets from the Pro Tour that could turn you into one of the best servers around. Alright guys, we've really covered the different aspects to improve the power of your serve, to get that serve over 200 kilometers. It is for some of you probably very advanced training. Some of you might know some of the elements. Put it all together, maybe rewatch the video a few times to really grasp the concepts, especially the one with the low toss. This is something I said again that I don't want to gatekeep from you, super secret from the tour, that now more and more players are doing. Try it out. If it's not for you, stay with the other stuff and focus on power, focus on improving your strength, work on the arm action, and I'm sure you're gonna serve faster than ever before. Enjoy the training. As always, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for the continuous and strong support, and I see you in the next video.
Tell me